Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 628 of Geeks in Space. Joining me today on this news orbit, we have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, Chris, you just as we pressed play, record, you announced to us that you've seen Loki. What do you think?
And then Roseboom said, both of them? And I said, I'll tell you.
We
Story.
We should wait. Let's talk about Loki last, so that we don't
let's
spoil.
talk about Loki last.
We don't spoil for anyone.
Okay, where were we?
We left off.
We're above this for sure.
Oh man, you guys talked about so many cool things.
We talked about the URL shorteners. I think that was the last one. That's the newest one for us to discuss because I thought that was just really funny.
Above Bezos eating the Mona Lisa.
He definitely he did it. He's full now.
Well, you know, he's moved on to a dessert of a nice Monet.
All right.
Okay, Bezos. Okay. We said that this is BS, the Venus thing.
Yeah. Okay, so the check out the URL shortener.
Yeah, we talked about. There you go.
The URL shortener is the one that I liked for us to start off. It is the URL shortener that instead of just making your URL shortener tries to make it as suspicious as possible. So it's just adding all kinds of weird stuff into your URL to make sure that nobody will ever trust it.
Page Gmail login page.
That's great.
Yep. That just tickled me. They've got some variations on their guy. Actually, it's a little
Pretty neat.
Unfortunately, I can't. Can you zoom your font like by 2 clicks?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. No. Yeah. Blumpify. Great.
Blumpify.
Blumpify. Otherwise known as what?
Goes here.
Commanderstaco.net. Thanks. Yep. Spectre exec.
Really
yeah. Login page. Yeah. I don't know. That tickled me so much.
Dirty words.
We just got censored. We've been demonetized.
Good times.
That is good stuff. So the next thing that we need to worry about is you guys got to adjust your orbits now because we have 3 new neighbors.
Oh no!
The Chinese space station is now occupied.
Oh, that's nice. Well, good for them.
Yep. They got 3 dudes up there.
Hopefully, it goes better than it did in Space Force.
Space Force.
Are you saying that they're gonna have to use a dog and a monkey to repair, like in space? Oh my god!
Or their space station will come and eat the other space station.
I think that's a little rude. I welcome our Chinese neighbors if they want to come over and borrow some sugar.
Oh yeah.
Or
some
a
Tang.
cup of coffee.
They want to buy a cup of.
I'd love to meet them.
No, they want to borrow a cup of Tang.
Listen, in orbit, we're all friends.
That's right.
Okay, you can't look upon this pale blue dot and think, you know what?
Nope.
I don't see borders.
Those borders aren't visible from space, man, except for the ones that look like rivers.
Space.
Yeah.
All you can see
except those
is humanity.
Yep.
And like oceans.
Yeah, and
like
pollution.
Right, and definitely
pollution.
Those big clouds.
Yeah, and the fires in California this summer are going to be pretty epic.
Also, what's going on over Utah? Don't go there. That place is gross.
Oh, that's not true.
I don't know.
Really
I just picked a location at random.
What I want to do is I would love to find a diagram of the Chinese space station.
It looks a lot like the Russian segments.
Huh, neat.
No, they're planning on sending up a few more modules over the next couple of years. It's going to be a whole thing. It's pretty cool. They got
it's going to take 8 launches to bring all this stuff up. Or?
Yeah, they were saying that the last time they docked, it was taking like 2 days to get there, but this one only took 6. So I guess they got more gas, or they put nitrous in the tank.
Well, this one a little fast.
They figured out which pedal to push. The one on the right makes you go faster.
I wonder if they have a compatible docking ring with us, so we could go visit them.
I kind of doubt it.
Be like, we should take over a casserole.
That's true, but my ring is just gum, like just a bunch of chewing gum. It's a bad locking mechanism.
You don't gum. I mean,
it leaks. hisses like crazy. I'm
It's
venting
not
oxygen.
very good for the low Earth orbit environment. If other space stations should consume your gum, it'll sit in their stomachs for 7 years.
That's right. And you got to recycle your water up there, so you got to reclaim all your materials.
Right?
You're gonna just you just turn on the little hot water maker, and out plops a little blob of gum.
Plop, plop.
Yeah, Jerry's definitely collecting baseball cards.
All right, Dune.
Dune
Dune's gonna come out in September.
Yeah,
Right.
it's well, the big thing here is that it's getting a premiere at the Venice Film Festival, and that indicates support from the studio, that they're willing to premiere it at a hoity-toity event, but also the list of movies that this studio has premiered there. They're like, these are all good movies. So this is a strong indicator for Dune that it might not be garbage.
Yeah, from the last sort of review things I've read, they say that Momoa is fantastic in it.
You mean Bautista?
No,
Momoa. Oh, Momoa. Oh, as Gurney. Yeah.
Yeah. And that all around it ends in a very strange place, supposedly. So,
I mean,
backseat of a Volkswagen.
That's right.
It ends where he discovers, from what I read, it sounds like it's ending when they reveal the stores of water to him.
Yeah.
So not even the big fight. It ends in a very, very strange place.
Yeah, after they've been expelled from Chris, and he and his mother escape to. Yeah, I mean, so Chani is going to be in this thing for like 2 seconds, and that's it, right?
Right.
So,
but they'll be all ready for that sequel.
He is the Kwisatz Haderach.
I mean, the thing about this movie, and the budget was big, but if this doesn't pull down, $750 million, they're not going to want to make a sequel. So,
I thought it was part of the deal that they agreed that they had to make a sequel. Like, there's 2 other already being done to satisfy, Denis Villeneuve's vision.
I'll believe it. I'll believe it if this movie makes $400 million and they make the sequel, but I'm not holding my breath. This is it's a weird story. It's a
cursed story.
Yeah, right? It's got so much religious symbolism mixed into
and
it.
Political stuff too.
Yeah.
Just
Instead
of being like the third rail, it's actually just 3 third rails.
No, so I disagree. I think that the worst thing that will happen is it'll try to be really, like message heavy. And so people will just be like, I don't want to go to school. I want to go to a movie. I want to see robots shooting missiles at each other or whatever, I want to see another Godzilla movie where people talk about blogging for a half hour inexplicably, So
you're not wrong.
So I worry that it won't be fun because the thing. So Villeneuve, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. His previous movies. I mean, he's a legit, auteur genius filmmaker.
He did Arrival, right?
Right. He did Arrival. He did, and not the Charlie Sheen one.
The good one.
So there's going to be a lot of backwards knees in this movie.
We're going to spend the whole time trying to figure out how the sandworms squirm.
Yeah, no, he did. He's done a lot of really good work. But the problem is this Dune thing it's cursed, so doing it right is going to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the thing about this guy, all of his movies, you're like, oh yeah, I'm never going to watch that again.
It's
so painful.
He did Blade Runner, and I watched that. I did watch that one twice, but like
Sicario, watching it twice would be like punishing.
Yeah, I saw that once. That was enough
because it's really good
for sure.
But man, it's like volunteering to get punched in the stomach. And I think that after a year and a quarter of isolation at home, what people want?
They want Fast and the Furious 9.
Punches and they want Fast and the Furious 9.
Yeah.
They want dumb car, swinging like Errol Flynn.
That's why I don't know why Michael Bay hasn't just become the king of cinema through this time, because if there was ever a time for his movies, it is now.
Well, I
he's-
mean, Army of the Dead apparently is breaking all records for streaming.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course. People want to see, frankly, a good time. So I worry the Dune is not going to be a good time.
And I gotta say, the credit sequence at the beginning of that movie might be some of my favorite zombie stuff ever.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
It's literally the best zombie movie ever filmed. Is the
And
credit
then-
scene of
And
Army
then
of the
there's
Dead.
like,
And then there's some of the stuff around it.
an hour and 45 minutes more movie.
So last
Not
night,
that great.
last night in my house, we watched Train to Busan,
Uh-huh.
because Kat had never seen that one, and that is a great zombie movie, just flawless.
Yeah.
So fun.
Sequels coming out.
I know.
It's like I'm never gonna watch The Mist again, the movie, because again, it was like the ending. I'm still pissed at Frank Darabont. If I ever meet this guy, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
That
know?
is so good.
You got a lot of
It's
people that you
so
need to punch in the
good.
face, though.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Frank's been punched in the face for that before.
Mm.
It's a measure of his effectiveness as a filmmaker. But I'm never gonna watch it again.
Sure.
So I mean, something like Dune to make $750 million, people got to watch it twice.
Yeah.
The people who love it
Well,
Right.
I'm trying to think of
in the theater with popcorn.
Sure. I'm trying to think of a movie that made mad money. That was like this is like the hard sci-fi fantasy end of it, right? Like if you step outside of like Avengers, like even Blade Runner, right? That's a niche. That's a niche film for just old school sci-fi film nerds. And movies like that, they make 500 if you're lucky.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I hated Avatar so much. It's a terrible movie, and it made a fortune.
It's the number
Right?
one
Because it was simple.
Yes, it hits that sweet spot where
It's just
everyone can go and at least sit through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can watch it twice.
And it was remarkable in its use of 3D. I mean, let's be
Mhm.
clear. Dumbest movie. I mean, dumb as a sack of hammers.
Well, it's just, it's Fern Gully basically in space.
Yeah, it's Dances with Wolves. It's I mean, this story's been told before. The problem is Dune's been told before too.
Right.
It's just been
Several
told
times.
before as Dune, or it's been told before as some horrible Middle East, thing like, oh, what was that? The one, not Syriana. It's like it had George Clooney in it or something. Anyway, long and short of it is this is not a foregone conclusion.
Ambalu asked about Interstellar. That one made 701, and I think that's your upper bounds for a dense sci-fi movie that doesn't have like superheroes and monsters and stuff.
My feelings about nonsense factory that is, Christopher Nolan. Like Tenet probably made $5.
Yeah. But that story's complicated, right? It's got the quarantine thing.
No, it's not complicated. It's just dumb. Okay. It's the same thing with Interstellar. Like he spent so much time in those damn cornfields and the back and forth. And what did it take to break through the barriers of time and space?
Well, love.
Love.
Yeah,
Sure.
but even
Let's go for
Interstellar
that.
is more approachable than Tenet. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, everything
honest-
is more approachable than Tenet.
yeah, the
It's
casual
so dumb.
the casual watcher is not going to sit through Tenet.
No, Tenet is a movie for people who like really hard crossword puzzles and want to like solve the really tricky clues in their crossword puzzle. It's not fun, but you got to do it.
No, it's for people who self-identify as Mensa members. It's just, it's not really that smart.
I love Tenet. I think it's so clever.
It's just not. I mean, absent a couple of scenes which were legit interesting, I'm never gonna watch it again. Though it's not. It's not even primer complicated.
Sure.
So anyway, sorry. We should keep talking about things that matter.
We should. So you see my background. I am in front of the Hubble deep field photo.
The deep field galaxy shot.
The Hubble's malfunctioning. They had to shut it down yesterday, or a couple days ago. But it's had a good run. We'll see if it comes back.
It's had a great run, right?
Mhm.
And this cost how much did Hubble cost to put into space?
It was $1 billion to get it up there, but
it was $1 billion, right? And then they had to fix it up. Still, I'd rather spend it on that than on a Dune trilogy.
I'd rather spend it on that than SLS rockets.
Well, I don't know each of them.
pizza oven, which is the ad on your.
Because
we were talking about it last episode.
Wait a minute, are we sponsored by Uni? That's really funny.
Yeah, I love me some Hubble though.
Yep.
You know, when does the James Webb go up? Pretty soon, right?
I mean, they've tried like a million times. They keep delaying it. It's been delayed like once a year for like 10 years, man.
That's not true.
That's
not true at all.
I mean, they were talking about it going up like 10 years ago.
That is not the case.
All right.
There's just no way. All right, here we go. Cost and schedule issues. The then planned launch and total budget.
Planned launch 2007. That was the first planned launch.
Oh, come on. Nobody believed that.
Okay, I'm sorry. 14 years.
No. Listen, preliminary design review didn't even happen until 2008. Critical design review in 2010. Okay, so how about this? I'll give you that it should have launched by 2018.
That's what you'll give me, even though the dates are clearly right in front of you on the screen.
Sorry.
The first planned launch was 2007, which gave them 10 years. This was the projection from 1997. They had 10 years, and it's still, they're hoping to launch it in November of this year.
Yeah.
But look, I'm totally right. Look at that. It's been tried. They've tried to launch it in 2015, 16, 18, 19, 21, and 21.
All right. Hey, listen,
we might disagree about Tenet, but this is fact.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
But this is a hell of an orbiter, you know.
For sure.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's like an origami project sent to space.
Well, and doesn't it have to go to like a weird orbit, like in between?
Yeah, it's like a solar orbit, right?
It's like in one of those dead zones between Earth and the sun or something. What they got a fancy name that geometry people know. There you go.
Yeah. So second Lagrange point of the Earth-Sun system. Okay, cool.
That's neat. But
that's cool.
Maybe someday it'll get there. They better hurry, because if we don't have a Hubble, then how are we going to know? We don't have the Hubble. We don't have the Arecibo. All I'm saying is when Armageddon comes, we're not going to have time to warn Bruce Willis.
Wait a second. They've been upgrading the Goldstone, so it has better near Earth radar for inner solar system threats.
But it still isn't like the
it's not Arecibo.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's getting there, right? So I mean, something is being done about it. Is all I'm saying.
Well, and also,
and the Hubble didn't do anything for the Earth.
It did not.
Come on, Rob.
I
Who
know.
Are you talking to?
I know. I was talking.
Come on,
cheeky.
We're in orbit together. You know?
Dude, you almost clipped my tail light.
Coming over here. You think they're gonna let me accept junk like that from you?
While we're nitpicking what Rob said, I don't think we should call Bruce Willis if the asteroid's going to hit the Earth.
No, probably not.
We should call someone else.
Older now.
Yeah, he's kind of old.
We can call Batfleck, Ben Affleck. You know, maybe he. You know, he's
Bruce Willis. So Bruce Willis is now. I don't know if you've seen any of the movies that he's been in the last few years, because I've seen a lot of them, and they're terrible.
Mostly like racist revenge fantasies, right?
Are you talking about Red State from like 10 years ago?
No, he did something where he was avenging like his wife's death, going around killing minorities. Death Wish, yeah, he did. He redid Death Wish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he killed more than just minorities, but
mostly just minorities.
Okay.
Don't get into Bruce Willis's 5-foot kill radius. It's just not a good idea. Well, let's see, what do we got on the list now?
Okay.
The HBO integration email.
That was so funny.
I got it too.
I got it
twice.
Super fun. Oh, poor HBO Max.
Right.
You know?
It was weird.
I feel bad for the kid, but also, you know, it's just not that big of a deal.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why it is a big deal. And it probably isn't a big deal for HBO, but if you have a large mailing list and you accidentally send a large mailing out, and even a small percentage of people mark that as spam, that can impact your ability to deliver email in the future on the big providers. We had an issue with that somewhere that I was working a while back, and they sent out an email that they shouldn't have to like 100,000 people, and it took them like 3 months to be able to send email again. That intern could cause a problem.
Yeah, you know, I don't know.
But that said, it's AT&T. You know, what does it matter?
I mean, I spammed what 6,000 people in the VA IPO thing.
That's
I
not a
mean,
fair comparison at
we
all.
we shut off Russia in SourceForge. You remember that?
Sure, but this is 20 years ago.
It's okay. People can do this stuff. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure the intern learned something from it. I'm sure HBO's management learned something from it.
I did think it was funny that it showed up. Like I saw like 5 people tweeting about it, and I was actually really confused by that message. Like, what the hell? That's really weird. And then a few minutes later, I saw everybody on Twitter talking about that. Like, how boring was the news yesterday? If that's what people on Twitter are talking about.
Well, I said they didn't email me today, and I was wondering if it's something I said. And it's like I've entered into a relationship with the integration test.
Lucky you. So if you expose crayfish to antidepressants, they get more adventurous?
What does that mean? What do they want to go and see more movies?
Yes.
Do they,
instead of sitting in their holes during the daylight hours and hiding from predators, they're like, F it. Let's just go baby. Out, hang out. I'm in a great mood. Let's go play in the stream. And then now I'm food. So with all the antidepressants going into the waterways, they're concerned now that it will change their behavior. It'll lead to crayfish being killed. I mean, we already have issues with the synthetic female hormones being in the waterways, turning trout into hermaphrodites, screwing up their breeding cycles, being filled with microplastics. Now there's one more thing that we have to worry about: animals that are just too dang happy.
Yep.
Too carefree, going about their day without being careful and getting slaughtered, because Mother Nature is not kind. So I don't know if you've ever been to a fish hatchery, right? So they have these really long raceways. They're just filled to the brim with like little sturgeon, little fish, right? And as you approach, because you can feed them like those little pellet food.
Watch the ball of fish underneath swarm.
Well, yeah, no, when your shadow hits the water, right, the normal behavior of fish is to get the hell away because it's a predator to come in to collect them, right? But these ones are like, it's dinner time, right? So it's like you throw the stuff in and they rush to the shadow because they know you're going to throw food.
Come on, corn daddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really something, right? And so I wonder, after they're released into the wild, like, does that cause a problem?
There's a really fun trout farm near here that I've taken my kids to a few times, and that's the whole thing. You get the wad of corn, you toss it in, and it's like there's so many of them. They're like out of the water. There's like a visible bulge of fish.
It's like watching an old movie about piranhas or something. Just for sure. So we need more stick and less carrot for the crayfish.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably need for people in general too. This story actually got me thinking about that.
Do they sell depressants? Like not antidepressants?
You mean like alcohol?
Depressants? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we got to start pouring vodka.
There's actually a pretty big industry for selling depressants.
like billions of dollars.
All right. Y'all are correct.
Right. So now the rule has to be that if you're like on some sort of antidepressant, for every 100 milligrams you take in a week, you have to pour the same amount of vodka down your drain just to balance it out for the crayfish.
Right. Yeah.
A little bit of
ecologically responsible.
A little bit of happy, a little bit of sad.
My kids were when they were teeny. This is killing me. I'm just looking at these pictures from the Nimbus Fish Hatchery when we would go feed them. Oh, he would just go.
Kids are great until they get old, little. Then they suck.
No, they're nice then too. It's just
so the Stargirl trailer.
So here's the thing about Stargirl. I enjoyed this trailer. I was like, oh, Green Lantern, cool. But it's so square. It's so earnest. I'm like, I don't know if I can take this much earnestness.
I really like that they've gone into the old school DC heroes.
Extremely old school.
Minding the GIS628.
Brought them back and made them a little bit cool. Like, I kind of dig that because not a lot of casual comic book fans know about some of those old characters, and it's kind of, it's it's kind of interesting to see them, right? This show though is just a little bit too Nancy Drew, if that makes sense for me.
It makes perfect sense.
It's not targeted at us.
I guess.
Yeah.
But having said that, this is by far the best CW superhero show.
Oh, yeah.
So,
dude, have you watched
not a
Legends
high
of Tomorrow
bar.
this season?
So for me, there was one good seasons of Legends of Tomorrow where they really embraced that they're nonsense.
Yep.
And got into it. The rest I don't care much for, and this season is particularly terrible.
Not only is this season,
I was never able to dip back into.
Oh, see, I like it when they're at their wackiest, but this season, not only is it just stupid, but I think they're filming on like multiple sound stages because nobody's ever meeting each other. Like there's whole I don't think Sarah Lance has seen any other character in like 6 episodes. So I think
and she's a bad actor on a good day,
for sure.
Know? Now she's a bad actor talking to balloons on sticks.
I've been still watching The Flash, and that is just a train wreck this season too.
Yeah, that's awful too.
I can't believe it's still running. I really liked it early on, as you know.
Sure.
But, wow.
I think all of the CW shows.
Is Arrow still on? Arrow's gone.
Arrow's done.
Arrow's gone.
Oh, thank God, because
Black Lightning is done.
I liked Black Lightning. I'm kind of glad if they ended it fast. That's good.
They got a little bit wonky at the end too.
No, we've talked about this a million times. I think the CW would be great if they just treated it the same way as Disney Plus treats the Marvel stuff. Do 6 episode story arcs with 2 or 3 of your characters. You've got this pantheon of actors. Tell the story that you're passionate about, and then get out of there. Don't make me watch 12 seasons of your garbage.
So, have you guys watched or been keeping up with Lois and Clark?
No.
God, no. Why?
I hear it got really crazy bad.
Well,
what happened? Tell us. Rip the scab off, Roseboom.
I don't know that it's. Well, I would probably say it's the second best CW show for superheroes right now. But again, that bar is not high. It's better than Heroes of Tomorrow or Legends or whatever the hell that show's called, and Flash. It's just. The problem with it is they try to make this a what is it like being Superman's kid show.
Oh, yeah.
And now you have to deal with, my life as a teenager was complicated enough. Now I find out my dad's Superman.
Does the kids get powers too?
One of the kids has powers.
Oh, good. We have an uneven imbalance.
It's the nerdy kid, not the super sporty kid. So the sporty kid has this whole story arc where he's like, no, I'm not the best football player. My nerdy brother is because he's half alien like me. Wah, wah. So,
and the other one's going to get powers too.
Of course.
They're going to be like intellectual powers, like Brainiac.
I would love to see a chart of like every like supernatural style show, and like the cast that premieres in the pilot. So take Buffy, for example. In Buffy, you've got like one superhero character from the title credits. But by the end of the show, everybody except Xander's got superpowers. So, but I would like to see a chart, like the average time before you get superpowers in a show like that. Because in all of those shows, by season 5, like look at The Flash. Everybody in that show got superpowers over the course, except for
Color
Dad.
Frost, Vibe.
Yep.
Dad.
The cop guy.
The imprisoned guy.
Who never gets off his couch.
Powers in the 80s. Come on. He was the Flash from the 80s.
It's Cop Dad.
Yeah, Cop Dad.
I'm
his adopted father.
I'm joking.
Hard to tell.
No, because the actor playing his cop dad who went to jail played the Flash in the 80s.
No, you're talking about a different guy.
Yep.
Am I talking about a different guy?
Yeah. So your joke is not landing as you think it might.
That's why it wasn't a good joke.
No, the guy who plays Cop Dad was in Rent. I mean, it's a different dude.
And in Law and Order.
What happened to the Flash? What happened to the show after I stopped watching? Oh
Nothing. That guy was in the pilot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You're mixing up Cop Dad and Biological Dad. because we're not using the actual names of any of the
Dad?
actors. Because we can't.
Which cop dad? You're talking about Iris West's dad?
Yeah,
Yes.
Cop Dad.
No, I'm not talking about cop dad. I'm talking about real dad.
But I was talking about Cop
Obviously.
Dad. That's why I kept calling him Cop Dad.
His biological father was a cop too. Remember?
Was he?
You know, you can't just.
Did you know that The
Don't
Flash
play with
premiered
my
in
feelings.
2014? That show's been
So,
going for 7 years, man.
John Wesley Shipp was a cop who they thought he killed his wife, Flash's mom, and but he was also Flash a long time ago. You know.
His biological mom or cop dad second wife mom?
Oh Christ!
So Jesse L. Martin, who was in Law and Order
Jesse L. Martin's
and Rent, is who I was referring to.
I like Jesse L. Martin. I think he's great.
I do too. Apparently, he has like major back problems.
Oh, that's too
so
bad.
like if you watch like in like the last like 2 or 3 seasons, he's like always sitting, and it kind of
it's
makes
like
me
Richard
feel
Dean
like,
Anderson in the last season or two of Stargate. You know, he developed all the problems with his leg.
yeah.
So
All right. Well, let's see. We had we have the Picard trailer, dude.
so I will say, John Delancey has aged really well.
He has.
Right. So whoever's taking care of that guy's, regime.
But why does Q get old?
Yeah. Do you think
No,
they might have
sorry.
de-aged him?
This is an appalling trailer. It's so bad.
It's a teaser. It's what it is. What it is. It's a
No,
teaser trailer
no.
is just
The teaser
remember
trailer
the
for
6
season 1 of
characters you
Picard
like.
was all right.
That's
you
true.
know? I mean, it was all right, but this is just like, oh look, here's the person from last season who nobody actually cared about.
One shot of Allison Pill, one shot of 7 and 9.
I mean, I liked the captain guy. He was cool. Moderately enjoyable. And then like Q, as if everyone was just begging for Q to return. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna watch every
Old
episode, but
robot
I'm not
Picard.
gonna
Oh.
enjoy it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then like, oh, the mystery is she doesn't have her brain implants anymore.
Oh.
Oh God, you can't hang a season on this.
All right,
crap.
so based on this, what do you think? Are they all in virtual reality? That seems.
I don't care.
It's virtual reality, or time travel. I think is the big rumor for this because they have to introduce a young Picard.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know how much I like time travel.
Oh yeah. Speaking of time travel, let's talk about the one good time travel thing now. Spoiler alert on Blue.
Loki.
Loki, baby.
So I watched the first episode. It was fine. I fell asleep in the middle of the second episode.
Oh,
It was admittedly late, but it was just dull.
Didn't get
Was
you,
it
huh?
dull? Does
No.
it get better?
I love
Think
it.
it gets better?
For me, when I read the reviews before this came out, the only bad ones said that the first episode wasn't that great, but the second episode was really good. I really enjoyed the first episode. There was lots of little bits in it that I really enjoyed.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And the second episode, I did not find as fun as the first, but still okay.
Okay. I'll finish it.
I enjoyed it tremendously. This is hitting all my happy buttons.
Christopher, also in channel, fell asleep during the second episode.
Yeah, the show is for sure talky, but again, it's exposition because they got to set it all up. So hopefully, once the machine is in motion, the next few episodes will be silly or good fun. I friggin' love this, but unlike Rob, time travel movies are like I will watch
That's
any
your
time
jam.
travel movie ever.
Yeah, as Ambaloo mentioned, I did enjoy that there was a Ren Fest. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Renaissance Fair. So
Yeah, and they play the "I Need a Hero" song in the background through the fight, and it was great.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
that the first episode? Or
it was the second one.
I was like in and out of consciousness, at that point.
So you didn't see any of the cool body swapping stuff in the final 10 minutes?
Oh, I remember waking up during something like that, and I was like,
What
I'll just
cool
watch this
body
later.
swapping stuff.
It's at the end of the second episode.
Oh, you just mean where they touch someone and there's green and another actor pretends to be that person?
Right.
I didn't think that was good. I mean, what's cool about that?
It was
That there was a green? Or
well, green is a good color. It powers lanterns. It powers algae.
I mean, surely you've seen other things where someone is jumping between bodies, right?
Sure. I enjoyed it
Okay.
tremendously. I thought it was well executed. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a good way to introduce the variant. And I had a lot of fun. And I loved how they wound up the machine. I love that they bombed the timeline. I liked all of that. I liked how she was stealing the devices, how she was setting it all up in the wake of
I haven't seen
catastrophic
the
events.
second half. You know,
No, I thought that I thought it was
I
great.
really enjoyed the idea of that you could go and screw with a timeline as much as you wanted, as long as there was a natural disaster.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yep.
So I give you that.
Yeah. I was really sleepy. This is all like, are we watching the same show? I need to watch the second episode again,
or
and
even the
tie
second,
together
or
the
even the
individual
second half
frames
of the
that I
first of
remember.
the episode.
Yeah.
Because they reveal then Lady Loki, who might not be Lady Loki. The internet thinks it might be a different character. But I think that
Well, although they set it up earlier about how variants can look different, and I really enjoyed the different looks of Loki.
Yeah.
Particularly they have a big ogreish looking one where he's like, "What the hell?"
I liked the Loki that just won the Tour de France. One of the variant Lokis is just a really good
here's
biker.
the thing. There's more enjoyment in those little flickers that I remember.
Yes.
Than in all of Picard season 1 or
Ooh.
in anything, CW right now.
Harsh, but maybe fair.
I mean,
I don't know.
The thing is, like, the actors they have are stellar, in this one, and it's just good, So I'm gonna watch it. I just hope it gets a little.
You should just
more exciting.
rewatch. You should just rewatch the
Yeah, I'll
episode.
rewatch
I loved it. I thought it was
I was
fantastic.
trying to stay up because I gave this virtual talk in Portugal, and I had to be sort of online for the chat, to be polite and nice, which is the job. And I'm happy to do it. I like doing it, but it was at 1:30 in the morning.
Oof.
To be 9:30 Portugal time. So I was trying to stay up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Loki. That'll be good."
Thud. Well, I'm sorry, man. I liked it. I thought it was a great setup.
Okay.
I also watched an entire thing on so as the time bombs are being deployed throughout the timeline, there's various computer screens that are showing the locations of where the time bombs are landing. And I watched a video that broke down all the names on screen.
Neat.
And it's fun. Like, a bunch of them are historical events in real world history, and then other things are just
like Madripoor and
but other things are just random locations throughout the Marvel universe. There's stuff in all of the weird planets for the cosmic Marvel movie stuff. So it's a lot of fan stuff. So they've opened the door. They can go anywhere they want for these next 4 episodes. And
I'll enjoy. I'll watch them again.
That was the last.
The thing I wanted to mention that I can recommend with every fiber of my being is I finished up Project Hail Mary, Andy Weir's new thing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That is my
so good.
It's next on my book reading list.
It's so good. So that's all I wanted to say. It's just so damn good. So
I could use a good book.
Eat that shit up. It's great.
Whoa. Delicious.
Yeah. I listened to it in audiobook form because I had that big drive, So but yeah. So good.
I haven't needed to have long drives. And it's so long. I don't have any time to listen to books anymore.
No. Yeah.
That's the one thing about not having a hour commute every day. No book time.
Yeah.
Don't miss that.
Yep.
All right, folks.
Short Audible, everybody. Short Audible. No.
Ooh, harsh. Anything else we want to get off our chests before we say goodbye for the weekend?
Nope.
All right. Fare thee well, Rob Roseboom.
See ya.
Bye, Chris.
Goodbye.
And I was Rob Commander Taco Baldo. We'll see you on Tuesday for another exciting, thrilling episode of Geeks in Space. Bye.